Just 2 years back I had the ideal life. I was raking in boatloads of cash as a venture broker, and I had a wonderful spouse and little girl. However, at that point I committed one error and destroyed everything. My partners and I had quite recently finalized the greatest negotiation of our life, and every last one of us would get a $1 million reward, so obviously we needed to celebrate and chose to go to the best club in our city. We requested champagne for a huge number of dollars and got totally squandered. That is the point at which a young lady moved toward me, yet it wasn't simply some young lady. It was the most blazing and most perfect young lady I'd at any point seen. Clearly she had both bosom and butt inserts. Since that wasn't regular, ordinarily I would have dismissed her since I had a family. However, I didn't. I won't rationalize here and fold the liquor. No, it was just my shortcoming. I began being a teaseback, and afterward we made out. After that I remember nothing. I just in some way awakened alone inside my lodging. I was unable to recollect that anything and called one of my mates. I asked him what had happened the previous evening, and he said, "Buddy brother, you just got the most sweltering young lady in the entire city. Regard man." He sent me a couple of pictures of me making out with that young lady, and I realized I had totally wrecked. I had deceived my significant other, the one individual I cherished more than anything more in this world. I needed to come clean with her. Yet would she pardon me? I didn't know. I just realized that she would be crushed. She was 7 months pregnant with our subsequent kid. On the off chance that I told her the news, she would be so worried and stressed that it would adversely affect the child. That is the reason I chose not to enlighten her concerning me undermining her until the child was conceived. However, at that point I got a call. The individual said he was working for the bank Goldman Sachs and that they were keen on recruiting me. They said they needed to get together for a meeting at an extravagant eatery the following day. Those were extraordinary news, since in such a case that you function as a speculation financier and find a new line of work offer at an alternate bank, it regularly accompanies a compensation increment of 20 to 40%. Yet when I sat down inside the cafe, a similar hot young lady I had made out without the club plumped down close to me. Wow, she looks staggering. However, at that point she put an envelope on the table and took out a few photographs of her and me making out and other stuff inside my lodging. Golly, so I had really carried her to my lodging and laid down with her. I felt horrible, and I promptly realized I was being coerced. Then the lady said, $500K or your pregnant spouse will figure out what we did together. Assuming that you include the police, your family will think twice about it severely. Good gracious, how could they? Are familiar? My pregnant spouse, she had no web-based entertainment records or any such thing. It implied that those lawbreakers had followed me to my home and watched my family. This was genuinely terrifying, yet I kept my stoic expression and said I would consider it. The lady said 24 hours, give me a card with her telephone number on it, and left the cafe. Golly, I was in such a difficult situation. In the end I chose to pay them the cash since I didn't believe my pregnant spouse should figure out what I had done, and $500,000 wasn't that much cash for me at any rate. Obviously I realized those individuals could return any time and blackmail me once more, and that is precisely the exact thing they did. Only 3 weeks after the fact I got one more call and was told to pay another $500,000 inside the following 24 hours, or they would show the photographs to my significant other. At this point my better half was 8 months pregnant and extremely powerless and depleted by her pregnancy. When she saw the photographs of me laying down with another lady, I don't know whether she might have taken care of it. That is the reason I nearly gave my extortioners the cash. However, at that point I reconsidered. Those were crooks. Assuming I gave them any more cash, they would just damage more individuals. I've previously committed an adequate number of errors. Now the time had come to make the best choice. That is the reason I went to the police and let them know everything. Fortunately, the hoodlums that blackmailed me were novices, and it took the police under a day to get them. All they needed to do was watch a tape of a camera close to the eatery the lady and I had met. From that point, it was simple for the police to sort out where they were residing. It worked out that it was a gathering of 3 individuals, 1 lady and 2 men. They had most likely blackmailed numerous others before, yet the police couldn't find any obvious proof for that. In the meantime I went to visit my 8 months pregnant spouse inside the emergency clinic. She looked drained yet grinned at me when I strolled in. I sat close to her and said we expected to talk. I told her I had committed a major error and inquired as to whether she needed to realize about it at the present time or after the child was conceived. She said, "You can perceive me now," and I said I have laid down with another lady. She didn't answer. She just looked miserable and frustrated. I proceeded with it happened over a month prior, and I concluded I should told you about it after the child was destined to die, not to cause you to feel worried yet. However, at that point I was blackmailed with photographs and perhaps a video of me laying down with that lady. That is the reason I altered my perspective and chose to educate you. Now she took a gander at me and said, "How would I realize you would have enlightened me if not for you being coerced?" I answered, "I can't demonstrate that to you." And she said, "Right, had you educated me concerning your mix-up quickly, perhaps I might have pardoned you. However, presently I can't at any point trust you again." I was crying since I realized she was correct. I had deceived her and afterward misled her. She took a gander at me and expressed it's over between us. I believe you should take off from my room, go to our home, pack your stuff and move out. I gestured and just returned home. There truly is no cheerful consummation of this story. Individuals that blackmailed me went to jail for quite a long time each, yet this story isn't about them, yet about how I obliterated my family, my life. I actually trust my better half will take me back sometime, yet it most likely will not work out. Thanks again for watching, and remember to like this video and buy into the feed. Until sometime later, please like and subscribe to our channel and get updates on a daily basis.